Nasu ide. Yende nika. Mais oui, c'est comme ça. Eh oui.
Welcome to Now You Know podcast. Today is going to be a good day because we have a special somebody here today. But before I introduce you to this person, you can follow us on Instagram at NYK Podcast, on X/Twitter at Now You Know One, which is NAU No One, and on YouTube on Now You Know Podcast.
Hold on. NAU?
NA did I no I said yeah, NAU as in you, like spell you, not you. Spell you. My apologies. Spell
You
you.
good, you good, you good, you good, you good, you
Exactly.
good, you good.
But yes, before I was rudely interrupted, I have Mr. Big Head himself, Mr. Chef Carlson. I have
Wonderful.
El Nino, and we have my bestie is back, you guys.
How you guys say
Mr.
clock it?
It's the clock
All of
it.
this generation say clock it, clock it, clock it.
You're a clown.
How
Eh,
has everybody been? But screw you two men that are always here. Let's talk to Mr. Blasu. Bestie, how have you been? It's a new year. How have you been?
I've been good. You know, just trying to take it one day at a time. You know, in this life that we are in today, like that, it's one day at a time. So that's exactly what I'm doing. We thank God.
You have to, honestly and truly. Amen. Well, we're happy that you're back for this one episode. If you want to come back for more, you can always come back for more because you're the lights that brings to this podcast with these two fools
Away.
that stress me out. But
Yeah.
Carson,
Hold
But,
on.
yo,
Karen,
we can talk now.
stress you out. Me, that have not stressed you out in at least a full
No.
year.
No, let's ask her if we can talk now.
Thank you.
Can
I
we talk?
did I not just say, Belnino, you can go ahead?
No, I'm just making sure because we are dimming your lights. I don't want to talk and dim your light even more. Took on no. I want to dim people's light this year. Oh.
Telling you. Anders.
Carson, I don't know about you, but I ain't dimming anyone's light.
It's not possible. You know, it's not possible. Why can't we even do that? It's not possible.
Yeah.
Okay. But you see, that answers the question, Belnia. How you doing? How's this week been? What's the mood? What's the vibes?
I mean, the week's been good, man. I haven't dimmed anyone's light, but yeah, it's been a very good week, you know.
Was this the first week?
Second.
Second.
Oh, second week too.
No,
Eh?
it's the third
Okay.
week of the year.
Second.
No, for him, you know, in the new chapter.
You know, Karen doesn't read between the lines. Karen doesn't
I'm
know what
telling
I'm
you.
talking about.
Wait, are you talking about work?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pick up on these things, man.
Sorry.
Yes, week two. We're pushing.
How is orientation now? How are we feeling with orientation and everything?
It's nice, nice. Nothing new, just you know, different place, different sort of rules, but
Mhm.
like I always say, use common sense in the workplace.
And different set of perks, huh?
Yes.
Luxury
yes,
perks.
yes.
We like those. We
Unfortunately,
like those.
my 2 phone era is over.
Oh,
Yeah,
Damn.
so
dang, you loved your second phone.
yeah.
Did you have to return the other one?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
I did.
I hope no one is listening. I am not returning any of my phones.
You block it now.
I have 3 right now, currently.
F3, yeah.
No, 3 work phones currently.
Oh,
One
okay.
is on right now. I don't use, only one is currently on, but you think I'm returning the other? What am I doing?
I'm glad you changed shirts.
Oh, of course not. I had to.
All right. Before we start sidetracking too much, we have a very interesting topic tonight. We have some scholars here, some Arsenal fans, top of the league. We have some Madrid fans, and
Yes.
then we have Karen.
Yep.
So the topic tonight is, are all humans really equal? Now, I know we had talked about I think it was last year we talked about patriarchy, matriarchy, and that conversation didn't really go anywhere as far as understanding the differences between the two. But I think talking about equality is pretty much something that we should start with. And then if we ever were to revisit that conversation about matriarchy and patriarchy, we have a better conversation later on that. So, um, what do you guys think? Are humans really equal? And by equal, what do you guys think it means? The word itself, equal. Queen K, seems like, since Shivari is not dead, I don't want to dim your light. We'll let you go first.
Go ahead.
So I've actually never thought about that question. So that's why you see my face is out here twisting and turning. So I don't really have a definitive answer. So if you see that my mindset is changing with this conversation, don't come for me, okay? But I'm actually thinking about it. And no, I don't think all humans are made equal. So, this is the thing, right? So, I remember I was reading about something because you guys know I'm always doing research and all that stuff. So, we should not be fighting for equality. We should be fighting for, help me with this definition. Like, I don't know it. I've been working 3 nights straight, so my brain is all fucked.
Equity, you mean?
Yes,
All
it's
right.
equity. We should not be fighting for equality. We should be fighting for equity. Because I remember I was telling my friend, fines don't make sense to me in the aspect of everybody has different types of forms of money. Some people make $5,000 a day. Some people make $5,000 2 months. So if you're having a fine and the fine is $50, what is $50 to a person who makes $1 million? They'll see that $50 fine and will do exactly what the fine says you should not be doing because they can afford the $50. Compared to somebody where it's like, if you say $50, they can be like, oh hell no, that's my half of like that's gonna put a dent in their week. So instead of it being $50, that $50 should be the equivalence to everybody's forms of income. What's the definition of that again?
Equity?
Equity. Because then it makes sense. Then it's actually truly fair for all compared to it just being of $50 for everybody. Because then it's not truly fair. The punishment does not fit. So humans are not born equally. And until we understand that and accept it, that's when we can progress into this world. Some people have to work more than others to get where they are. And then some people, sadly, will never be where other people is at. So that's my thoughts so far. But yeah.
Our honorable guest, that brings a light. John the Baptist.
That's like you see how I'm smiling so much, you guys. You see all this energy I have is because of
I'm
him.
baffled. I'm flattered.
So Karen talked about equity, right? I just want to ask a quick question before I get your thoughts on this whole thing about equality. So Karen talked about equity, right? When it comes to equity, is life supposed to be fair though?
Hmm.
I think we all want life to be fair, but life is not fair. We all hope life is fair, but it's not fair. This life is not fair because when you look at things, when you analyze things, you ask yourself, why do some things happen to some people and some things don't happen to other people? And some people will talk about like, maybe religion, maybe some people are believers, some people pray, that's why good things happen to them. But sometimes you also see people who are very mean, if not wicked, but good things happen to them. Why? So it's very hard to understand. So I think we want life to be fair, but I personally don't think it's fair, man.
Chef Carr, question for you.
I'm here.
Does equity create division?
Okay, when you're saying equity, right? Are we talking about
Mhm.
like equity as like financial equity,
Nah.
or are we talking equity as in like, how people are treated?
So say you have someone that makes 100K, somebody makes
Hmm
50K, you average their salaries and make it equal. That's what it's saying equity. Basically,
So communism.
giving someone what they need to pretty much survive.
So communism or socialism, you should say.
Something like that.
Not
No, I
fully.
don't think it's fair. I mean, that's the whole concept of it. If you really break it down to
Correct.
its core, that's literally what it is. But no, I disagree. I'm completely against it. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it should be a thing at all. Because it's in human nature for people to take advantage of situations. No matter how
Mm-hmm.
you look at it, that's just the case. I don't think it's fair where someone sits on their ass and doesn't do work because they know and they expect that, things are going to be
Handouts.
balanced out. Yeah, exactly. Now, there is always that flip side, right? Where it's like someone physically is not capable, like, like Blesso said, right? Life is not always fair. You might be
Mm-hmm.
born with no legs, something like your circumstances might not be in your favor. Now, would that
Correct.
be beneficial to you? Yeah, but again, there's no way you can please every single person, no matter how you look at it. So for me, nah, meritocracy is the best option.
I remember when I remember back in high school when we're playing football, the coach always said that if you can walk, you can play. You know, if you can walk, you can play, and that pretty much goes back to what Carson's saying, right? Like for example, if you're not on crutches, right, they're expecting you to sacrifice for the team, right?
Yep.
And that's pretty much playing your role, right? If you look at some scenarios, like for example, if you go to Europe, right? The European system, not every country for that matter, the European system, in a sense, like the government provides literally everything for you, in the sense that if you're not working, you're living better than the average middle class person. All right. So coming back to you, Queen K, right? I know you said that you like equity, but think about this scenario, right? Say you and I are living in the same country. You work in the health field, right? Today. Now, say that you're busting your behind 3 days a week, 12 hours, say 24-hour shifts, right? And you're barely making it. Now, I'm on government benefits. The government giving me a house. The government giving me enough money to get food and whatever I need. At the end of the month, I'm more happy than you. Now, where does equity and equality come in this scenario?
So, you guys' definition. So, I was looking up the definition of equity because equity is not communism, honestly and truly. Because I had to learn about this in nursing school, honestly and truly, to understand how to take care of people and how to go about certain things. So, equity is this is from Merriam-Webster.
I Google it.
Its definition is a fairness or justice in way people are treated, often specifically freedom from disparities in the way people of different races, genders are treated. And then the definition of disparities mean a noticeable and usual significance difference or dissimilarity. So disparities, right? Black communities and white communities. There's always a big disparities in each community. So in suburb white communities, you're always going to have they're going to have multiple grocery stores. They're going to have multiple forms of entertainment. They're going to have parks, things where like they can have family events. They have more access to healthcare and all these things. But then in black communities, for like example, Baltimore, and not all of Baltimore is the hood, because when people hear Baltimore, they think all of Baltimore is the hood. It's not. Baltimore as a city has a lot of disparities. Baltimore as a city does not have that many grocery stores, honestly and truly. It doesn't have that much grocery stores, and they put hospitals in Baltimore because of the fact that they will make more money by putting hospitals in Baltimore, because they already know, like I said, Baltimore doesn't have what's it called, grocery stores. If you don't have food, you're gonna get sick. if you're not able to feed and get the correct, because Baltimore has so many fast food restaurants, corner stores, and all that stuff, that's gonna make the people sick. So hospitals come there because they know they're going to make money of the fact that Baltimore as a city doesn't have a good community within itself. But then that is the disparity, and that's what equity means, is to fix the disparities. People hear equity and they think that it's communism. It's really, honestly, truly not.
How's that fixing it though?
What?
Hold on. To even go back, she didn't even answer the question at all. She answered a completely different question. The example was in Europe, you talked about Baltimore. And then your definition, it says often specifically, it's giving other examples. It's not always the case. Equity is also in every other scenario. So if you can answer the specific question that was given to you, it would make more sense, you know? How we get to Baltimore and race when we're talking about Europe?
Because
His question was, he gave you a scenario in Europe,
Mhm.
and then you brought it to Baltimore.
Because I use Baltimore an example of a disparity. Because I'm trying to give you the definition of what a disparities
Yeah,
mean.
the definition was good. It's just that I wanted to come back to my question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Because
saying.
I
Like,
literally picked your job for a reason. Because I know
Mhm.
you be busting your behind. That's why I was asking you that if you're working those 3 hours, 24-hour shifts, right, barely making it as a middle class individual. Now, if the government is giving me a house, giving me money to get food, and giving me extra money to do like basic things, at the end of the month, I'm more happy than you because guess what? I'm not slaving for the white man, in your words. All right. Meanwhile, you are slaving for the white man, and at the end of the month, you're barely making it. So is that fair? Is that how it's supposed to be? Now, keep in
Yes.
mind that I'm not handicapped. I'm fit to work. I just chose not to because these programs exist.
So I'm not mad about the programs because I think those programs are actually good. It's just like how Carlson was saying, people exploit these programs. That is my problem. The programs within itself are actually very helpful because they are people who are out here who want to get a job but literally cannot find a job right now. Look what's happening in America right now. A lot of these people are unemployed, and you think that they're not out here trying to get a job. So these programs are meant for people who, for the short period of time where they're unemployed, the government assists them until they get back to their feet, and then the government can take back that assist. The programs are not the problem itself. It's a good thing. People just exploit it.
so what's the answer
I
to the
don't
question?
mind it. I actually truly like it. That's no, I really
So is it
don't.
fair or is it not fair? What's the answer to the question?
I think it's fair.
Think
I
of
think it's good.
yourself though. Think of you. Like
Yeah.
you're working all these hours
Hold
and
on. Let's simplify it, right? Me, myself, Karen, me, just me, as I am right now, everything, and you. Imagine if you're working, you're busting your behind, you're doing other stuff. I'm sitting here on my behind doing nothing at all. And then due to your tax paying dollars, right? They're
Mhm.
deducting even more because they want to use that to support me. Is that fair?
If you're doing nothing at all to not try and find a
Or
job,
doing the bare minimum?
then it's not fair. But if you are unemployed and you are trying to physically find a job and get back on your feet, then it's fair. Because I would want that to happen to me if something like that were to happen to me. So
Thank
it's
you.
not
That's
like,
that's that's what I wanted for you to say. Like, actually give an answer.
but
That's
I
what I
was
wanted to
bringing
hear.
back to disparity because, like, yeah, it is fair at the end of the day. What the government is supposed to do is supposed to help its people. That is what the government is meant for. So I hate it when I see people not bashing on welfare, bashing on food stamps. Like, why is the government giving handouts? Is the government not supposed to help you? The government is supposed to be giving us free or cheap health insurance. Is it not? If anything, the US government just comes, takes here, eats our money. We don't see it for a damn thing. If you come and ask us Americans where our tax dollars is going, we'll come and say to you, we don't know. Our roads are atrocious. Healthcare will cost us a kidney, a heart, a liver, and we still won't be able to afford it. Food is expensive. We don't even have public transportation. We have to buy car to go here, here, and here. Ask us where our tax money is going. I don't know. So if you actually came and took my tax money and I saw it in these programs that are helping people out, I think it's fair. What am I crying for? Because you never know the day when I'm going to need those programs. Simple. It's just the exploitation of it. That's the problem. But the programs itself are very much fair because you never know when something's going to happen to you.
There's a reason why they don't fix the roads. They'll sell less cars,
Less tires.
less tires. Michelin won't be happy.
Exactly. But
Life has to balance, right?
if we have public transportation, would we care if they fix the roads?
Henry Ford didn't do all that work to have you making trains in the country.
But this like it proves my point. That's why.
So, Karen, let me ask you a question then, to your point, right? And again, I'm just gonna devil's advocate here because I think we're having the same conversation, but also we're trying to argue semantics here, right? We understand like there's specific rules in place for certain things, but we also understand and we know for a fact that people will always abuse them, right? And take advantage of them. So at what point is there a balance to where it's like, okay, cool. How do you restrict the people who are capable and are not doing it versus the people who are incapable and can get the support? How do we balance that out?
That's for the government officials and people who live in these cities or countries to come together and figure out that answer. I can't sit here and give you an answer because I don't freaking know. Because I think it's better to have these things than to not have them, if I'm being quite honest. Even though, yes, I get pissed off when people are exploiting it, but it's like, let's have it instead. I can't come up with a solution, but we can't find a solution. Everybody is going to exploit something in this world. Everybody's exploiting something. So let's not act as if, oh, these programs, people are exploiting it. Are rich people not exploiting bankruptcy and making millions and triple with the ways that they over here try to find loopholes to do this, that, and the third? But we're not mad about them. We're mad about broke people who don't got money and are exploiting the benefit program. But we're not mad about rich people finding loopholes to make more money.
I think it's a little bit more nuanced than that, but we can continue.
Like,
All
no,
right.
don't piss me off.
No, we want to piss you off so we can dim your light a little
Don't piss
bit.
my bestie off, please.
All right. Before we move on to we need to bring in our expert guest here, but let's dive into
Is
our
he a
African
guest or is he
uh,
a returning founding
Please, I'm
member?
not even a guest. Thank you. I'm not even a guest. I'm one of y'all. Whatever y'all is.
He's the prodigal son. The prodigal son.
the return of the king.
I'm telling you.
All right, let's get into an African proverb, which says that the child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth.
I thought we already done this proverb before.
Shut up, shut up.
Okay, you know what? No. It's okay. Tell her. Ask her to tell her what it means.
Yeah, tell us what it means since you did it before.
No, because no,
There-
blessing,
there
please.
are-
No. We did it
No,
already, right? So tell us.
Don't God blessing this time.
Tell us what it
Let me
means.
hear. What is it? What does it say again? The child that does
Yes.
what?
The child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. Queen K, since we did it before, do tell us what it means, dear.
Okay, so it pretty much means that if you don't feel on this, the child, okay, it's not the exact thing, so I'm just giving you an overall.
Oh, no exact thing now, eh?
Okay, so if the child doesn't feel the warmth of its village, it will literally burn it so that it can feel the warmth of it. If he doesn't give him love or like respect, mainly love, children just want love. If you don't give it the love and the nurturing that it needs, it will come back in rage and burn the village down. So if you either give them the warmth or they'll find the warmth by killing the whole place.
It's like she answered, but she didn't really answer because she just repeated exactly what the thing said. Like, yo.
I don't know how to further explain it. In my head, I know what it is, but to talk, I don't know how to explain it.
You can phone a friend.
Mhm.
Blessing, I'm phoning you.
Mhm.
I'm putting me on this, but no, I think you're along the lines of what I was thinking, right? Like, so if a child, is not getting the love or like respect, or not feel like if they don't feel like they're being cared, they're cared for, they're gonna find any means possible to get that love and respect. And sometimes it may be good, and sometimes it may be in a bad way. So any means possible. That's kind of how I was thinking. So I think you and I were thinking along the same lines.
Carson, there's one character. There's one.
I was about to use an analogy like that too, but continue.
There's one character that I think you and I both know that fits this proverb perfectly. I'll give you two guesses.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No, you gotta give me the show because I'm like I can think of a few.
Marvel.
Marvel?
A few open up.
In regards to Marvel, one I can already tell is gonna be Loki. For one, always seeking, he never got the attention that he needed and things like that. He was never embraced by the community because he was an outsider and he obviously always sought to do harm. Because again, it wasn't necessarily because it was evil,
Closer to
just
home.
because he was, and
Closer
the
to
other.
home. Closer to home.
Oh, I already know what you're talking about already. That was the other person too. But I was going to give a different example. But to give the example that you're talking about is going to be Killmonger, essentially, because of how he was raised again. He was shunned by his well, he was abandoned by his community, and he had two different communities essentially. And because he was abandoned by his people who had, and he grew up with a struggle, he decided to burn the entire system down. Not anything he wanted to see the world burn in order to save his people. I was thinking of an anime character. Karen might understand this one. Aaron. You watch Attack on Titan?
Eren Yeager.
Exactly. He fits that perfectly.
Some of us, we prefer Killmonger. In Black Panther, we have seen
Yes, fine boy,
I feel open
fine
up for any
boy.
of them. I don't watch anything, so when it gives, I just sleep.
You haven't seen Black Panther, bestie?
I have now, but most of the time I was trying to stay awake.
You're disrespectful.
All right.
It's not that it's boring. That's just me. Me in the movie theater is just.
But so you can use Cristiano Ronaldo as your analogy now when he plays Atletico Madrid. The way that crowd treats him every time he goes back there.
Cojones.
There you go.
Or Senegal, right? They didn't get the respect they deserve, and they had to do it. They had to get the respect by any means possible, and they decided not to come back to the field, and later got their respect
and their trophy, more importantly.
Yep.
All right. So since you're in the mood and you're very happy, I know you're a science boy. What is the opening statement of the Declaration of Independence?
I'm happy you didn't ask me that one.
Is that a question that you guys have to answer when you're getting your green card or your passport?
That's like different questions, but that could be one.
I know it talks about something about all men were created equal or something like that.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
you're on your right path.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, something about we hold these truths, blah 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 blah. All men are created equal.
I have a dream, like Martin Luther said it. I have a dream that all men are created equal. We hold this dream to be self-evident that all men are created equal, or something like that.
You can tell who was cramming in school. You can tell who was cramming. They don't understand it. They just crammed it.
I'm not hiding it, bro. I'm not even gonna deny it.
So the whole thing, right? So I'm trying to compare two things here, right? That Declaration of Independence talks about equality, right? Now, Carson is from a different generation. He knows more about Hammurabi's law. Hammurabi's law is more of equity, right? Now, the Declaration of Independence is about equality, but at the same time, it did not include women. It did not include indigenous people / Indians, and it did not include blacks. So that brings back to my very first question, and the whole point of this podcast topic today is that how do we define equality if the opening statement of what the Americans believe is that everyone's equal, but yet that same document does not include blacks, Indians, or women? Now, what equality are they talking about? Chef Carr.
Oh, it's coming to me. I thought it was going to Blasso.
I beg, answer your question.
Hold on. Sorry.
No,
all right, so you're saying...
I know. But still going to talk about Hammurabi. I'm giving you this one. I'm switching it up.
All right, cool. I was like, huh? So, damn. Repeat that question again. So I
So
gotta work my
so
response.
so
Which men are they talking about when they talk about all men are created equal? It doesn't talk about blacks. It doesn't talk about,
Indians,
women. It
yeah,
doesn't talk about
Hmm.
like Native,
yeah, and Native Americans,
Native
the
Americans.
landlords,
So
original
yes,
landlords.
the landlord. So which
Yeah.
men are they talking about when they say all men are
Oh, they're
created
talking about
equal?
whites now. I think it's straightforward. I think we all know this. It was about whites, like, and white passing people, because I believe some of those founding fathers had some black in them, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it was mostly about whites and white founding people. But from what I understand, if I'm not mistaken, they did write it in such a way where things can be added, right? If I'm not, is that correct or no? Or those amendments?
Yeah, I think the amendments came later on, but the original
Okay.
document itself excluded those people.
Yeah. So I think obviously it was meant to be for whites, but then throughout time it's obviously been changed or not changed. It's been interpreted to include every single person, every single race, even though we know obviously that it's still not equal, per se. That's the best I can say. I don't, me and
No,
American history don't really, I
no,
mean, I
that's
know a
fine.
lot, but I don't know enough.
I'll bring Queen Kate to help you later on. But moving on to the other side
Yeah.
of the spectrum, Hammurabi's law, which is pretty much about.
Hmm. This is what I thought you were going to. I'm like, ah, I know this one.
Now we need to enlighten Blessona, pick his brain a little bit. Eh?
That's still Googling already now. You can see him. He's
See me
Googling.
Googling. See me
He's
Googling too
Googling. You
much.
see him looking left, right. He's Googling. The man is trying to research real quick. This is someone
No, he's
he
actually
can never
why
sit next to you in class. He can never sit next to you in class because when he's trying to cheat, he can't be there. We'll get both of you caught.
Say number one at eight
he
or
made it this far,
say
bro.
number one at eight, number one at eight.
Yeah, yeah.
He
And he's
made it
like,
this
you
far, bro.
sure?
Where
No, hold on. Like before we move on, though, like person was talking about it was made for whites. So, like, I guess the first question to ask is like, who wrote, the Declaration of Independence? Like the people who wrote it obviously wrote it for themselves. And the way it is, right? When they say all men were created equal, I think like it's kind of like an open statement, right? So you can also say like all men. That's like humanity. That's mankind, right? Like in the Bible, when it says man, it's talking about everybody and just not like the male figure, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think depending on how you look at it, but we know how it was written and why it was written.
But they didn't give the blacks
Yeah.
and their freedom, their
And
independence.
women either, because women were not equal then too.
They were not able to vote.
Right.
Yeah, they weren't
Yeah.
able to do a lot of things. Yeah, yeah. But like I was saying,
I
right?
had to sit down for Karen. That's who you can.
Not dimming her light, but making it
I'm
shine
telling
brighter.
you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So Hammurabi's code is pretty much straightforward, right? There's no sugarcoating it, right? It pretty much
Yep.
says that all men aren't created equal, right? For example, if you're in a high class, I'm in a middle class, you commit the same crime, you in a high class probably get no punishment. Me in the middle class,
Or
I'll
if you
get a
do
big
get punishment, you get to serve time in your luxury mansion.
something like that, right? So it's pretty much that your punishment depending on if you're a free man or you're a commoner or you're an enslaved person. All right. Now,
Yep.
this is pretty much straightforward. If you're in this kind of system, you know that okay, there's no such thing as equality here, right? It's
Hmm.
it's every man for himself, right? So comparing this now to the other side of the story that we just talked about, where they talk about all men being equal, yet some people were still being left out to this system where um there is, the the knowledge there is that we're not all equal, right? Now, if you were to pick, right, a society to live in, the US Declaration of Independence or in the Hammurabi society, where do you think you want to fit in?
I'm Robbie's law, man. Tell me the truth to my face.
Thank you.
Tell me the truth to my face and let me fight to survive.
Hold on. But in that case, then you know how Marabisco is also an eye for an eye. That's literally part of it too. So if you chip someone's eye,
That's
okay,
almost how
just
we
put it
live
out
these
there.
days now. That's
I
almost how we
agree.
live these
I
days.
put it.
Yeah, somebody makes you angry, you try to get them back one way or the other, whether in a
No,
nice way or in a not
no,
nice way.
it
You
was
try to get
it
back to
was
them.
literal though. Like you would get that and more depending on your status.
I get it, but I still think I'll pick that one because like I rather you tell me how it is and let me suffer through it, knowing that that's how it is, than to now come and be lying to me that this thing is like this, and then I'm
You
trying
pick
to get
shot.
to it, but I'm not getting to you. I'm just using one kind of way to discriminate against me. Just tell me the way it is, so I know that as it's like this, you are discriminating against me. To me, actually, Hammurabi, I bet.
Hold on. So that means you don't want any sliver of hope. You don't
Is a
like
hope
hope.
is a hope that kills.
The hope that kills. As an Arsenal fan, I know that it is the hope that kills. False hope. When we know deep down that we're not going to get to it, I
But at
think,
least we hope you're happy for a time, though.
huh?
We hope you're happy for a time, and then it goes down.
Happy for a time, and
I,
then your heart is crushed 10 times worse.
exactly. You are disappointed at the end. So just tell me how it is, man.
Oh
Just
man.
tell me how it is. Because, okay, I think Kincaid mentioned something earlier about like, getting jobs and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
All men are created equal. We have the same rights. We can get all the jobs. But sometimes, why is it that in most places, when you apply for a job, you just see your name. Chuku, something, something, something. They cannot read it. Your resume automatically go to the left-hand side. And then they see Michelle. Oh, okay. They push it to the right-hand side. Why are we all created equal and have the same rights to get a job, but we are being discriminated like that without even, being heard, without even being listened to? So just tell me how it is, and I'll know that that's how it is, and I'll just suffer through the whole thing. Back.
Can't work your family quietly.
Yes,
So
yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I think, okay, I believe that in order for us to live in an equal society, we have to acknowledge that we're not equal. Because in the Declaration of Independence, it makes people believe we're all equal. So when people are out here being like, what Blessing say? I'm not, the reason why I get a job is because my name is Karen, okay? So, but if I had a different name like Blessing was saying, I'm not getting a job just because of my name. So now when people are coming to other people and saying, I can't get a job because of my name or because I'm a woman or because I'm black, they'll be like, that's a lie because we're all equal. Then people will use that so that they don't have to understand other people because they have this false ideology that people are equal, so that they don't want to listen to anything that you have to say because we're all quote unquote equal. But if we all understood that we are not equal, society will become better overall if we actually want to be a progressing society. If we just want to just be like, we're not equal, so all of you guys must die however you die. But if we want to progress as a society, we have to acknowledge that we're not all equal so that we can find the dilemma. And we have acknowledged the dilemma so we can now build upon the answers.
Makes sense. And let's bring it a little bit back. Oh, go ahead, Carl. Go ahead.
So to Karen's point, right? So you're saying essentially you're gonna choose to live in the 1700s when Hammurabi's law code was a thing. Is that correct?
I said if we want to better ourselves as a society. Did he want a better
Mm-hmm.
society?
Mm-hmm.
He did?
That's what you're
No.
saying? No, I'm saying, is
No,
that
I'm
what you're
asking,
saying?
did he want to better society? Because I literally said,
I mean, that's why he did that, yeah, like to create order. Like he was actual like a legal code back then.
and he wanted to better society, not
Yeah.
as a way to
Mhm.
like make
He
people.
was already a king. Like, so yeah, like he wanted to improve his,
Then yes, I agree to that code more. Because once, like what
Okay.
Blessing said, tell
So
me the truth.
time out. Before you agree to it, right? You do know that's when they also had things like trial by combats and trial by ordeals. So if you get accused of something like, let's say you got accused of stealing something, doesn't have to be true. They could be
Guilty of
like,
improper
oh,
innocent.
exactly. They'll be like, oh, well, we're gonna dump you in a river. And if you survive, cool, you're innocent. If you don't survive, you're guilty. You gonna take that chance? Or they also have like other random scenarios too, where it's like, oh, let's say Karen, you're a nurse, right? You go to work and you treat someone, but let's say you make a mistake, quote
God
unquote,
forbid.
and a patient
God forbid. Use a
dies.
different example. God
Guess what?
forbid.
Guess what else happens? You die, or better yet, let's say you treat someone's kid, right, and they die, or even if you just get accused of that, guess what? If you have a kid, you're like, oh yeah, guess what? Your kid dies too. So it's not just you receiving the punishment, it's stuff like that that
Your
happens
kid
too.
plus
Like,
one.
Wait, that's not
yeah.
the
Also
society I'm
beats.
talking about. Okay, let me give the
No,
example.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, again, let me finish though. That's what I'm saying. Like, the laws were very harsh. Yes, it was meant to make society better, but it was also very, very harsh and extreme. So, regardless of how we look at it, yes, the intent was good. The execution was terrible. Just like
Exactly.
Exactly.
how we
Okay,
look at today's time, the intent is good. The execution is terrible too.
no, but this is how I see it, not her, whatever that man's name is, right?
Hammurabi. Hammurabi.
So,
How you
Hammurabi.
see it or how it was.
No, I don't. Listen, I don't know anything about him, so that's why I'm just like I don't want to
Okay.
really use his example and agree with anything because I really don't know. So what I'm
Hmm.
saying, right, is okay. We acknowledge that everybody's unequal. How you were saying about a child robbing a bank or a grocery store or whatnot. Okay,
Hmm.
we understand everybody's built is not equal. We look at that child. Oh, he's poor. His mom is sick. His daddy's not in the picture. He's like 12-year-old, 14-year-old. He can't get a job. So he's robbing the store not because he's just robbing it to rob it. He's robbing it
Hmm.
because he literally has no other choice, or he's going to die, or his mom is going to get even more sick and die. So, in a world where we acknowledge that people are unequal, instead of us beating this boy and throwing him to jail and everything like that, we see what is going on with him. And instead of giving him a harsh punishment that honestly, I don't think he deserves. Yes, you should never be robbing a store or anything like that. But if you see the picture and you understand it, the sentencing should be less. We will see that and try and help him out instead of a harsh punishment. Because what's a harsh punishment going to do? That's why there's constant all these theft and all that stuff, because we don't see that people are they're not in an equal caliber. People are not doing these hideous things, selling drugs because they want to be selling drugs. They're selling drugs because they want to put food on their table. Like, let's figure out what the inequality is first and acknowledge that and try and fix that, and then society will be better.
I agree with you, but back then, theft was death.
Back
You
then,
got caught stealing.
yeah, back
Okay,
then it
I'm
didn't
not talking
matter what
about
your
back
family
then. I'm
background
saying
was like.
to make society better currently, this is what we need to do. So we need to acknowledge first that everybody is not equal. Because if we say that everybody is equal, then we will not be able to even fathom that a person is robbing somebody because they don't have any money. But if we understand that everybody's not equal, now we can sit down and be like, okay, they're not
Okay.
equal, so.
So last thing, right? I think we all understand. If you don't understand, if we all understand, I would speak for the majority that we're not equal. I think it's you're very, very ignorant if you don't understand deep down that we're not equal. But to your point, if that's openly stated, then that's just gonna lead us down the, in my opinion, down the completely wrong path. Because now at that point, it puts that conversation out there. It's like, okay, cool. What's the metric that decides me being better than the next person? And where's that line? Where's that divide where I'm privileged and where I'm not? Because those actual parameters will have to be stated at that point if we're going to go there and say, oh, we're not equal.
Yeah, and what's wrong with stating that? Like,
Because now you're bringing up more problems when you state that. Because
no,
now you have
you're
to put,
not.
yes, because now you have to put parameters to clarify what makes me less than the next person. And what do I have to achieve to be up, to move up in status? You have to create all of that. So how would you create all of that? Because I could be saying, oh, I make 500K a year, and that person who's making a million, or they could be like, oh, the benchmark is 10 billion, right? Like there's going to be statuses there. They have to put actual limiters or limitations or actual parameters to where it's like, okay, cool. You cross this line and you're here. You're below this line and you're here. You actually have to differentiate that.
Don't
And
we
at
already
that
do that
point
with
in
the middle
time, hold
class?
on. No, because
Upper,
at that point in
middle,
time,
high class, we already do that.
no, we don't, because that goes right back to the caste system that actually had actual parameters where it's like, okay, if you're here, you're here. If you reach this part, you're here. If not, you're there. So what you're describing right now is actually taking us back to that caste system that was in India. That's literally what you're describing. if we're gonna say we're not all equal, because they said it that they're not all equal, and that's why they had that caste system.
But the thing is
So are
that
you saying we go back to that?
I'm not saying we go back to that. We already into modern day society, we already know the people that are actually that get sense, that actually has
Mhm.
sense. We already know what is
You're
the
repeating what
line
I just
of
said, though.
privilege and not privilege.
No, we don't.
I
We
said the
don't
people that
know.
have sense. I said the people that have sense. I didn't
No,
say
I
everybody.
think I have sense, and I don't know what that line is.
Sir,
I'm
we
sorry, I
know
don't.
certain lines. If you're white, you have privilege. If you're a man, you have privilege. You have money, you have privilege. It's like let's not
What is
act
if
as
you
if
have
like
money? Because you have like people who like the 5% who ruled the world, quote unquote, and we don't even know the number that you have to reach to get there. We don't know.
And even
If
if
you
you
have
have
money,
the
how
money,
much is
you still can't
money?
get there.
Yeah, how much is money? We don't know that, right? Like I can have quote
we
unquote more
do
privilege
in a
than
sense because like I said, okay, in today's society with how like inflation is working, we already knew but when well, let's talk pre-COVID. Right now, I don't even know how much money you need to be comfortable. Pre-COVID, we already knew that if you made six figures, even if it was just 100K on the dots, you are literally more privileged than majority of the people in this world, right? That's why we have that's how we have lower class, middle class,
eh,
and upper
I don't
class.
think the
disagree
word
with
is
that.
privilege. The word is not privilege. It's
Yeah,
how you just have more access. Privilege
Okay,
is a
okay, let's not
different,
okay, not privilege. You have
yeah.
more
yeah,
access.
access to things. There you go.
But access also is goes hand in hand with privilege,
Nah, here's
honestly.
the thing.
It can, but it doesn't always.
We're living in a first world country, right? Where a lot of times we need to start making excuses, right? Because we have access to the internet, right? You can literally get any kind of information that you're looking for, right? Compare this to where we come from, right? Growing up, before we even got information, let me give you an example, right? When 9/11 happened, we found out a week after it happened in boarding school, right? But people here, they knew instantly because once it happens, guess what? Every single channel on the station were showing it. We didn't have TVs that cared about what was happening across the world. So here in the US, right, we have access to information where I don't know about y'all, but I feel like people need to start making excuses for certain things and just
I agree.
do what they need to do to survive. It's literally not about privilege. It's just about wanting, having that will to do it.
Yeah,
Yep.
this one access does teeter a line of privilege. I'm not saying access equals privilege, but access does teeter the line for privilege. It
Okay,
does.
Karen, let me
Because
give you an
when
example, right? Based on what you're saying. Let's say me and Belner. I live in Arizona, he lives in Delaware. We both make that $100,000 a year. Let's just put that benchmark out there.
Mhm.
Depending on our cost of living, it's less for me than it is for him. So again, when you talk about a specific number, it's not always the case because depending on where you're at, what your expenses are, what your situation are, is going to be different. So I
Mm.
could be making 1 million, but if I have 800, 100 and sorry, $980,000 worth of bills and expenses and things like that, it's not the same.
But
So
what are
when we're
those bills and
saying
expenses?
privilege, right? Again, it doesn't matter when we're saying privilege in certain things. When we talk about financials, there has to be a specific number if we're going to be outwardly saying we're not equal. Because at that point in time, you're going to be creating a system where people are going to try to achieve a certain level of privilege, to use your word, or status, and that would have to become a specific. It would have to be clear if we're going to make it clear that hey, we're not equal.
So I we rather live in a society where we play as if everybody's equal, and then when people do speak about the fact that things are not equal, we're just, hey, no, that's not true. You just have to no. I rather us acknowledge that things are not. Let's live in reality, you guys. Let's live in freaking reality and stop living in la la land as if everything is
But
okay.
here's the thing, though, right?
Like
Here's the truth, right? Laws cannot be written to show inequality. There's no way laws will be written to show inequality. Laws are written to show equality, but the opposite happens in real life, right? No one's gonna write a
Yep.
law that says that pretty much benchmarks every single person, right? Laws don't come like that. No one's gonna pass it. Laws have to
Yep.
show that everyone can attain the same thing if they do X, Y, Z. But in reality, it's the complete opposite. So that's the thing. So pretty much we're living in Jefferson's Declaration of Independence, right, on paper, but we're actually living in Hammurabi's lifestyle. That's
Yes, because it's
that's
still
what
going on right now.
that's
Yeah.
what it is. That's the honest truth, right? On paper, they cannot put Hammurabi's or compare it because guess what? Where we are today, we're in a woke generation, right? That's the best way I can put it. So if you write Hammurabi's methods on paper to pass as law, there's gonna be backlash, right? There's gonna be backlash from the UN, AN, NATO, whatever. Everybody's gonna have a backlash. So yeah, they have to put it on in a way that it reads equality, right? But at the end of the day, we're living the Hammurabi's law.
Very shameless people, because we all know that we're living Hammurabi's law, and then they are still writing it that way. Very shameless people. That's why me and Queen K are saying that you better just tell us that this is how it is. Stop sugarcoating, stop trying to act like it's not like that. Meanwhile, we're living it like this. That's just the problem. Very
But
shameless.
so they always say, right? What's understood does not need to be repeated. We know it. We know it.
Right.
It's like when we're born, they don't need to tell you how, hey, killing is bad. We know it. We just know it. Nobody got to say it. We just
Some
know.
people don't know it. But that's why some people come from different countries, come to America and think, hey, we're coming to America, our life is going to change, we're going to make money. Just you come here and you're suffering,
Right. And then they'll be asking you for money.
not knowing you're fighting for your life every day in this country.
At the end of the day, it's the same back home. This is just Pro Max. And back home is without the max.
They're asking Blesser for money left and right, not knowing Blesser drinking Gary every day.
Hey, I saw one video the other day. My family is thinking that I'll buy them a house. Meanwhile, I'm here carrying trash. I'm working for the trash picking company. Like, can you imagine?
Where?
I said, my son is an engineer. They don't know he's a mechanic. Oh,
Mechanics make good
man.
money. Mechanics make good money, though.
No, yes, nah. You know, they're like, oh, my son is a sanitation engineer. They don't know he's a janitor.
Literally.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Ah, man. Life. But honestly, though, eye for an eye, I cannot live in that life, bro.
Vis-a-vis.
I cannot live in that life.
Eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. Isn't it? Who said that? Gandhi?
I don't remember. I just know Hammurabi's like eye for eye, tooth for tooth. Simple
You
as
know what's
that.
crazy? Just like you just mentioned Gandhi. I was reading this book about Gandhi, right? You know how we're talking about the system in India, right? Gandhi felt like he was the shit in India. Guy goes to South
Right.
Africa, tries to get on the plane for first class food. They kicked his ass out the plane.
Hi,
Damn.
Baba. Hi, Baba.
Like, who you think you are, yo?
Damn.
Like, who you think? Like, this is a different system. What are you doing?
You thought you were him? Nah.
Yeah. He thought he was him.
Hi, Baba.
Get humble real quick.
Ah, man, kicked him
Ah,
out the
You thought he
plane,
was the
out
main
of the
character.
train. Yeah, the guy got on and go in the first class. Like, I don't know, I've made it. I've
Yes.
made it in life.
But you know what's funny? Bless
Yeah.
up, Mr. First Class. I think you have forgotten something. We always end with wise words of wisdom, right?
Mhm.
So
Okay.
give us some wise words of wisdom, please.
From Bafut.
Before we see you next year. In regards to this topic that
Wise
I've talked
words
about.
of no. Hopefully you see me more than that. Wise words of words of wisdom. You know, this year, in fact, I've learned that you cannot help in every situation.
Right.
Just let people go through their own thing that they are going through. You have already gone through your own. Let them go through. You cannot help in every situation. You are not Superman. Do what you can do. When you can help, help. When you cannot help, don't kill yourself over it. You cannot help in every situation. As I'm living this 2026.
Amen.
You cannot help in every situation. You are not Superman.
Clock it.
What if they're super macchia?
Clock it.
Wait, you need to get on that plantain first.
What if you're Mr. Downloader? What if you're Mr. Downloader? That's a real superhero. He can help everyone.
All right, y'all. Good talk. Hammurabi, long live Hammurabi.
Hey.
Long may he reign. Yeah, it's been fun. Welcome back, Lezo, Queen K, Chef Carl. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good night. Peace out.
Yalla.
And c'est fini.